What's up, Crusaders? Welcome to another episode of Arcade Crusade. Today's video, we are going to continue the whitewater restoration. This will be part 5 in the whitewater restoration series. If you have not seen the previous episodes, I suggest you go back and watch those before watching this one, just to catch up with where we're at. In today's video, we are mainly going to focus on tearing down the main playfield. We're going to pull the flipper bats off, pull the subway off, and then we will go from there. So let me get the camera set up on the tripod and we can get going. I already have a bunch of Ziplocs labeled and ready to go, so we can do this hopefully pretty quickly. And we'll start with the right boulder. And the right boulder, we just got 2 screws, and then it's got like a metal guide under it. And I may put, there's a couple star posts under the pop bumpers here. I may put those in this bag as well. But again, just 2 screws and this right boulder can come off. We'll just throw those in there. That can come off like so, and then we will put this metal guide. This will go with the right boulder. Pretty much anything that was underneath the right boulder, we will stick with that. And I might throw these with the, I guess we'll put it with the right boulder. And actually, let me take a picture of this now that we have the boulder off. Yeah, so there's a metal protector here just to prevent the boulder from getting broken. I'm just taking that off, and that can go off and go in our Ziploc, and our 2 screws can go in there as well. And now we can take this star post off, which was right under there. And this star post can go in our right boulder bag. And then if we can get these small plastic posts off, these can go in there as well. There we go, that one's off. And I have new plastic star posts and these little small clear posts. I have new ones of these as well. So we're just going to put all this in here, and then these are going to come off and the new ones will go on. So no big deal. Let me get a picture of this just to know where the outline was at. Another one pulled off. And we'll take these rubbers and shove them in here, and then this just helps me keep track. And that was already loose, so that can come out, and that helps me keep really good track of what goes where. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so that's good for the right boulder. Let's get our left sling and right sling bags. Or no, not sling. Right pop bumper and left pop bumper bags. Because these we can take off as well. So right pop bumper is this right side. Take that screw out. And we have boulder protectors we're gonna put Cliffies on, so I'm gonna put the Cliffies in these bags, so I remember to put them in there when we put everything back together. And then I will put this clear post and this star post in that right pop bumper bag. These are really like this is the only area in the game that really has star posts. There's one with the left boulder, but this can go in the right pop bumper bag. And we got our right boulder bag. Both of those are completely out. Now we can take out our left pop bumper. And when we get this off, we'll get a picture of this. Make sure this is loose. All right, and 2 screws on top of our right pop bumper. There's a couple holes in this one, so I might try a at-home fix to repair the holes in this one, just because they're real small. All right, so let me get a picture of this. Look at my previous photos. And I'll get a picture of this entire area so we know how it goes back together. All right, that is good. So we'll take this star post out. There we go, that's out all the way. And then these 2 star posts back behind the pop bumper are gonna come off. All right, that's all the way out. And we can take this clear post out again. I hope I have enough of those. The manual listed 5, and I'm either counting 5 or 6, so hopefully I have enough. That's gonna go in there, and then probably put these. I'll probably put these in the Whirlwind plastic, or in the Whirlpool plastic bag, rather than putting more in that bag. So we can take this out. And actually, let me take these off and put them in my right pop bumper bag if I can get them off. Might need a small flat head to get this one. Seems to be moving a little bit. But yeah, it's got 2 post sleeves in the front. And then behind that, it's got 2 post, like the little post rubbers. These are gonna be kind of a pain to get off. There we go. So that's one off. And I'm just putting this in the bag that I labeled right pop bumper. There we go. Got it over the edge. And now that's off. All right, so we took off everything there. These we'll take off with the Whirlpool plastic. We can do that next. That should be easy enough. Might have to hold this with my hand because it wants to turn on me. Hold on, let me tighten this back down and I will get a wrench on the other side of that. All right, let me get a wrench on the other side of that. Hopefully it should be a 5/16. Might have to loosen it a little bit to be able to get my wrench in there. Yeah, it's a 5/16. All right. So now our Whirlpool plastic can pull off. Yeah, no issue fitting in that bag. I can get this tightened up while we're under here. That's nice and tight. I'll get this star post that's back here off. That was easy, just one loose. So that can go in our Whirlpool plastic bag as well. Let me get a 1/4-inch nut driver. And we will take our flasher dome off. And we'll have to make sure we get the spacers with it. I just realized I did not take a picture of this star post. Let me put that back before I take this off. All right, that can go back. And now we can take our flasher dome off. Make sure you don't lose these spacers when you take this off. All right, so there's both spacers and our flasher dome off in the Whirlpool plastic bag. Make sure this goes through. Let me get these rubbers off. I might take this off while we're in there. That should clean up all right. These are really stuck on here. There we go. Both of those pulled off. Put that in the Whirlpool plastic bag. And that is torn down. All right, let's get the left boulders out. get these out of the way. And it should just be one black screw here. And then my boulder's broken, but there's a star post right there. So now that is taken out. We can take our left boulder. I'm just gonna put it under the cabinet so I don't step on it. And then we can take our star post out. That goes along with it. I guess I'll take a picture while I got this off. It's actually cleaner back there than I expected. I wasn't expecting it to be that clean. All right, so our left sling, we just have two nuts here and the plastic. I have new sling plastics. This one's actually broke for me, so I have brand new ones, so we don't need to worry about that. I'll just throw it in there for now. And might have to loosen these with a wrench. Yep, just a little turn with the wrench. And these come out no problem. Both of these go with the left sling. As does this slingshot rubber. And then this metal post goes with it as well. That is the entire left slingshot. All right, now we can do the right sling. And of course I moved this. This goes in our right sling bag. Now these screws are more for the ball guide, but we're gonna have to take these out. There's 3 on the right plastic here. Slowly take them out one by one. And this plastic actually has spacers in there, and just make sure you get the spacers in there when you put it back together. And these screws go all the way down into the playfield from the bottom ball guide, so they're going to be pretty long when you take them out. And then all we got attaching that ball guide is a real tiny screw. All right, that's the entire slingshot and right ball guide taken out. All right, so that'll probably go in our right ball guide bag which I have it somewhere. Here we go, right ball guide. I'm hoping the entire thing fits in this bag. We'll see. It may not. That should work. All right, that's the entire right ball guide out, and now we can go back to taking apart the right slingshot. Let's get these started. All right, that's completely pulled out. Got our rubber pulled out, and we'll be replacing those star posts as well. Don't need to worry about that. And we'll just get a screw on this. And we'll get this rubber removed and put it with our right ball guide. All right, so that's fully taken off. Now we can take our left ball guide off. And that should be more of the same. And I actually have a plastic I bought off of Drano, a guy in Canada on Pinside. He has a missing plastic that I bought some spacers off Marco's, and it goes underneath Insanity Falls and continues the boat design and the water on that missing plastic. Get a picture of this side while it's off, just to make sure. That one's fully loosened. Now it should just be this one. All right, and that is the entire left ball guide removed. I might not even need this Ziploc. It might just stay together all as one piece. It seems to be the case. All right, so that's the left ball guide out. Let's see. I'm going to grab a Ziploc, and we are going to remove all of the ball guides in the back of the game. So let me get the camera zoomed into that and the light turned up. All right, so I have a Ziploc for this as well, but we got a bunch of 1/4-inch wood screws in the back here. And what I'm gonna do is just remove, I guess I'll take pictures of how all of this goes, but it's pretty intuitive. It only really goes on one specific way. All right, so I'm mainly gonna take off like 4 of these ball guides here. I'm gonna leave this one on because it has these wire forms here anyway that don't go anywhere. And I'm gonna leave the main big one on because that really isn't gonna be in my way. All of these ball guides use the exact same wood screws. So all I'm gonna do is take them off one by one and shove the screws into this Ziploc. So that's taken out. We got one more up top here that I actually had not seen until now. So we'll get that one out, and now this entire ball guide can be lifted out and removed. And we will do the same thing for this one up here. This one has 4 screws on the one side and no way out. And I'll get these out of the game, polish these up, and it'll just make cleaning the playfield easier because we won't be working around a bunch of ball guides when we have to clean and wax. So that'll be easier. And once we get these off, we can lift up the playfield, get that stuck flipper out, and then we can take the subway out. And then we're pretty much at a point where I can clean and wax this game off camera. And yeah, there's really no reason to show that. If you want to see how to clean and wax a game, just watch my my Twilight Zone restoration. And I pretty much show everything in there. I can do a time lapse of it on camera, but it's really not that fun to watch. There's 2 of those on, and we're taking the last one out. All right, and that ball guide can come off, and now just this last one. That one can come out, and I guess we could take the ramp protector here. Let me take a picture of how this goes. This is one side of the disaster drop ramp protector. This is also in a way a ball guide, and I haven't taken this off yet. So I'm gonna take this off as well. We're taking everything else off. Why not? All right, and that is all of our ball guides and screws removed, completely taken out. Everything else that's on can remain on. We're able to get, actually when we do the GI LEDs on this game, we can replace all the GI from the top side of the game. So we don't even need to worry about doing the GI from underneath. It's way easier to do it from above when you're able to, and we'll be able to. Jesus, thing was stuck. All right, now that flipper is pulled out, so entire playfield is torn down, and I can get this locked back in, lift it back up. The last thing I want to take off this game to clean is this subway under here. And once we take the subway off, then we are good to go. My subway is actually missing some hardware. I'm gonna have to do some research to figure out what exactly I need, because I'm missing a couple screws on it. And I'm not exactly sure how to take this thing off, so bear with me here. I have no idea what size the screw is for it. All right, so it's got a nut on the back side here. I don't know if I have the right size to hold it. I guess I do. All right, so that should be loose enough for us to get the nut off and not lose it. And I have a zip lock for these subway screws as well. I guess I should probably take a picture of how this is. And I have a new screw and nut, because I'm actually missing the top side screw and nut for this. So I have a replacement one that should work. It's about the same size as this, so I actually ordered the right size. All right, so we got the screw out and the nut out. So this can go in our subway bag. And now this side is completely loose. So I'm going to take a picture of the other side, and then the other side can come off. So on this side, the other side actually has like a yellow rubber spacer that goes underneath it. And I'm not sure what's going to come off when we take this one off, so we are about to find out. Interesting. All right, so I guess I'll take a picture of the order of how this screw comes off. And then we can take our screw out. And I guess there's a metal protector under here. Yeah, where the ball drops in, there's a metal guide under here that goes on here. So I'll take a picture of that as well, just to make sure I put it back in the right way. Because when the ball drops into the Whirlpool, it drops on this piece of metal here. So that's gonna go with us as well. Basically just goes like this, the whole thing. And then I don't know what that is from. I don't know if it slips out of here or, okay, interesting. Yeah, that just pulls right off. So we can pull our optos off and just kind of hang those out of the way for now, and now we got our plastic subway off that we can clean. This actually isn't in the worst shape. I'm glad it's not cracked. It's got some solder on the side from someone doing some repairs, but it isn't cracked. It's completely doable once we cleaned it up, so thing's filthy. All right, so this can go in our subway bag with the rest of our subway screws. And I have a new screw for the one that we're missing, so I'll put that in here as well so I don't forget about it. And before we put this back together, I'll clean this up just so it's not so dirty. And we'll wipe the optos with a Q-tip so those aren't dirty, and we'll just clean up this entire piece. I guess I could have disconnected it. Maybe I will, just to clean it. I don't know. I think that was all I wanted to pull off the bottom of the playfield. Just that. Now we can, now we're in a place where we can clean wax the entire thing. We can rebuild both of our bottom playfield flippers, clean this up, clean the subway up, clean the mountains up. I'm gonna replace the flasher domes with orange ones so they blend in better with the mountains. And then the Whirlpool flasher dome, I just wanna hang this down in there. The Whirlpool flasher dome, we are going to change to a blue one. And we can clean all of our, we can take all these bulbs out, swap them all over to LEDs, replace the flashers with new ones. We're just gonna clean and wax everything. I'm leaving this ball guide on because it goes on with these little wood screws, and when you take these out, they never want to go back in right, so I don't want to mess with that. And then this ball guide is held through the bottom of the playfield, and I don't want to take it off. And there's other ball guides behind it, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But that is the entire bottom playfield of Whitewater, completely torn down. All the boulders taken off. We got our slings off, all of our star posts off. We're in shape now that all we have left on are targets, posts, the scoop, and the pop bumpers. And I'm leaving this plastic on because there's no ball play back there, so I can just clean that entire area with that in the way. It doesn't bother me, but everything else has been taken off except the two main ball guides. So we're in good shape now to clean and wax this thing, and that is pretty much it for this one. So I just wanted to get the subway off and the entire game basically torn down. So now we're in a place that we can just clean it, wax it, put it back together, rebuild the flippers, and we'll do all that in the next one. But that pretty much wraps it up for this one. We basically just tore this game down basically to just targets, posts, pop bumpers. This is going to be your standard teardown when you're taking everything apart. If you don't have to replace pop bumpers, if you don't have to replace targets. I'm going to have to reflow solder on the extra ball target and both Bigfoot targets. The rest of them seem to be working all right though, but I will reflow solder on probably all of them just to be safe. But that's pretty much it for this episode. We just tore down everything, and now we're in good shape to just clean, wax, and start putting everything back together. So that's it for this one. Hopefully within the next few days I'll get started on cleaning and waxing, but thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.